doing, Peter?
Great weekend.
Sean. There we go.
Sorry,
No problem.
heard the wrong one down.
What was that? I missed your question, Peter.
Great weekend for the Toros last weekend, taking 2 out of 3 from Aberdeen. It's a great way to get back into the division.
It certainly wasn't. It easily could have been 3 out of 3 just for a bad third period on Friday night. Otherwise, really like the way the guys came out both Friday night and Saturday night early. And Monday's game 3 and 4 is tough. It looked like guys may have been running out of gas a little bit towards the end, especially after what was a pretty tough week of practice before. But a huge second period that really had the fans going. It was a smaller crowd, but we expect that on a Monday night. But it was a really, really good and loud crowd on Monday night in the Mesa.
I was impressed by that especially. But now after a solid weekend, the Toros are now in outright third place.
And really it sets up a huge opportunity this weekend, getting on the bus and going to Cloquet, team that's ahead of us in the standings, and got the better of us last time we were there. I think Benny being healthy will be a big difference for that, and we'll talk about that a little bit more with the guys as they come on. But a huge opportunity in the standings to come in and jump back up ahead of the Wilderness and maybe be alone in second, if not first, if the Blizzard can help us out and knock off the Bobcats this weekend.
And AJ played really well on
Saturday, yes.
as well. So
yeah,
that's good to see him. He hasn't gotten many games in there.
No, but
he's 2-0 on the year.
Exactly. You can't fault the results for sure.
All right, I think we're ready for our first guest, wherever he's at.
Here he comes.
Our first guest of the evening is a returner to the Minot Minotauros, Mr. Brandon Couette. Brandon, welcome on.
Well, thank you for having me.
Team got off to a really hot start in the season. 10 games on the road. Take me through kind of like what it's like to be that many games away before getting a home game.
It's a little bit of a grind. It's a lot of time on the bus, a lot of time just away from your own rink, away from your own schedule or routines that you have. And it does take a toll, but after that we had a lot of home games. We had, a month that we were basically home the entire time.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have that time at home after that.
Talk me through returning to Minot and being able to play in front of this Minot crowd again.
Well, playing in Minot is some of the most fun I've ever had playing hockey. And to be able to come back and play in front of the great fans that we have in Minot and live with the same billet family that I have is truly a blessing. And I'm very happy to be back in Minot.
100 games already in the books as a player in the Null. You still have a year left as well, but you've played for 2 different teams now. Compare and contrast what your experience was like in Cloquet versus now here as a Toro, and maybe you could speak to it a little bit as well with your brother having played for St. Cloud here. Like what's it like being a Toro compared to maybe some of the other places in the league?
Well, you're definitely treated a little bit like a king when you're in Minot. Yeah, you definitely have the best of everything when you're here. The bus is great, the rink is great, the fan turnout is always amazing. But and like you said, I played for Minnesota Wilderness as well, and I had a lot of fun there and met some great people. But I'm definitely happy to be in Minot.
How much are you looking forward to getting back there this weekend?
I always look forward to playing in Cloquet.
How does having all this experience in the NHL help you kind of mentor the younger kids and the rookies that are coming in for the Toros?
I think it's just always being kind of a reassurance to them, making sure that they remember that, they're here for a reason, even when, they have an off game or something like that. And, even if they're not reaching their full potential, it's like, come on, you can do a little bit better, something like that. Just always kind of be in that reassurance, like I said. And, that's pretty much it.
Fans, if you have a question for Brennan or for Nick Armstrong Kincaid, who's on next, feel free to throw it in the comments on the video here or up on Twitter. You can tweet it at Peter or I. Our Twitter handles will pop up on the screen every so often here. So, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to send them along. But, Brennan, you know, a big weekend taking 2 out of 3 from Aberdeen. I asked this to Shane last weekend. I know a lot of the fans look at the Bobcats as the biggest rival, but I think especially the last few years, how competitive the games have been against Aberdeen. Who would you say is the bigger rival at this point?
They're very, very close, and we always get up for both teams. You know, you always circle that on the calendar, and you always have to be ready, otherwise you're going to be embarrassed. But I think physicality-wise, it's always Aberdeen, the 2 years that I've been here. And, you know, Sunday or Monday morning, you definitely feel that you can feel the difference of who you played against because your shoulders hurt, your back hurt. Everybody is just going 100% in those games for sure.
How fun was it to take 2 out of 3 from them this week?
Yeah, it's always fun when you can beat them in a series, yeah.
So apparently one of your hidden talents is sharpening skates.
Yeah, and that's kind of a new talent that I have.
How'd you get that talent, or were you selected?
No, not really. So actually, my dad, he had purchased a skate sharpener. We have that in our garage at our house. So I kind of learned just by watching him and learning through him. And then when I came here, Coach Wagner actually showed me how to use our skate sharpener here. So it's just kind of been a gradual.
How did you get picked for that? Did Wags just
Oh yeah,
pick
that
you?
was Wags.
That was just Wags.
Yep,
yeah.
he's like, you're my guy.
Who's the other one? I know. I believe we have 2 guys who can do it, right?
It was Sammy Vola. So
Okay.
now it's just me.
Now it's just you.
Yeah.
Does Wags still help you out with it at all, or is it all you?
I wish. Yeah, I wish.
You gonna pick another person to help you, or?
I know. I need to teach somebody how to do it, but haven't got around to it yet.
Well, you've got another year here anyway, so really
I
there's
know.
no urgency, right?
Exactly.
Speaking of another year, what's the difference between this team and last year's team? It seems like this year's team is a little more bonded together almost.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we definitely, do everything together, and I think that we have a lot of new young players this year, and I think last year we kind of had older players, but I think the younger players that are coming in, and we had a lot of new personnel come in, I think they kind of just gelled right away. And, yeah, I think that we have a very tight-knit group this year, and that we're doing really good things just because of how tight we are.
I apologize if I say this wrong, but Dane Stegg
Yep.
just commented on Facebook saying, "What up, Brennan? Keep putting the knuckles up, bud. Protecting your goalies." Who, you know them, or?
I do not know.
Well, all right. Well, it looks like you got a fan then.
Yeah.
They're season ticket holders, huge fans.
Okay.
Okay.
Some of the guys have said in a previous survey that they pick you to be the funniest guy on the team. Do you find it important as to kind of be one of those guys to keep the team loose during those hard days, especially after the Bismarck weekend and that rough week of practice?
Yeah, for sure. Was it funniest looking, or was it funniest?
Probably both, honestly.
Yeah, both. Yeah, I definitely think that after a stressful weekend like we had with Bismarck, just kind of keeping everybody light, and it does weigh on you when you lose the way we did. But just helping the team turn it around and realize that we need to focus on the next weekend that's coming, and just keeping the mood light. Yeah, I think it is important.
This might be a little bit of a tougher question for you to answer, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it anyways. You're a second-year guy, 100 games in the league. You're not one of the 5 guys who wears a letter on his jersey, but I've watched over the year. You're definitely one of the leaders of the group anyways. Did that sting at all when you weren't one of the guys to get a letter, or is it something that you're going to continue to be a leader whether you've got one on your jersey or not?
Honestly, I don't think that, letters on your chest really matter. I think that, just sticking to your game and, in the locker room, being yourself, stuff like that, really makes a difference. And the guys that we have that have letters on their chest are all very, very good players, very good people. So I think that they all deserve the letters that they got. And no, I don't think it really stung at all.
We have another Facebook question, this time from Shelly Carbo. Her question is, how do you correctly pronounce your last name?
Well, do you know how to say my last name?
Couette?
Yeah, that is it, Couette.
All
Yeah.
right.
Now, I think going back to Toro's meeting Toros, you had some of the largest number of nicknames. What were some of those nicknames you had?
Oh, Monster. And that was just because, as a lot of people know, last year I had a few penalty minutes. And they would say that I would just go into monster mode. And and then that turned into Monstar because I started getting some points towards the end of the year.
Okay.
And then this year it's just Kuwait normally. Kuwait. Oh yeah, Cowet. That's the new one. The Euros can't pronounce my last name, so they call me Cowet.
Do you help transition or help the Euros transition into My Not Any?
A little bit. I think they kind of, stick with each other and kind of figure it out themselves. I'm still trying to figure them out a little bit. There's some weird guys.
Yeah, like who?
Isaac Darlene. Yeah, he's a weird character.
Now, as a second-year guy, you're more established here. What are some of you've got Minot down? What are some of your favorite places to go away from the rink?
Oh, I'd have to say Ebenezer's is one of my favorites. Magic City Hoagies, actually. I didn't try it too many times last year, but this year I really got into it. Yeah. And probably Qdoba. Qdoba is almost every single game day I go there.
Nice.
Go-to dish at Qdoba?
Bowl, brown rice, let's see, chicken, queso, corn salsa, and tortilla chips.
Very good.
Yeah. What are some things that you do during the off season to help you stay in shape, to get like better
And how has that changed now that you're a third-year guy?
Well, I definitely have to do more. I have to do a lot more than when I first came in, but I have been kind of working out with a athletic trainer that I have in St. Michael. His name is Blair Kelly, and he works with a lot of collegiate athletes that are in the Minnesota area. And he's really just been helping me with, strengthening my legs and also just evening out my entire body so that I don't have certain points in my body that are stronger than others.
What's it like having Kevin Melby as the athletic trainer? What are his workouts like?
Kev's great, honestly. His workouts this year are great. He knows when to really kind of work as hard and when to take his foot off the gas a little bit when we're sore and stuff like that. But Kev always knows what he's doing. He's honestly the best trainer in the league. He's a great dude.
That's all I got. So
Thanks for coming on,
Yeah,
Brendan.
thank you,
And,
sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
yeah, thank you, sir.
We'll have a quick change out here. Get Nick. Is he about to?
Oh,
Nick just got the win behind us.
Yeah. Should I put on some girls?
no, you're good. Welcoming to the show now is Andrejik Armstrong Kincaid. And first off, I have to ask, do you like going by Andrejik or Nick better?
Most people call me Nick, so I'd say Nick.
Gotcha.
What's you asked if you should put something else on. What's that shirt? Tell us about
This
it.
is KUA, Kimball Union Academy. That's where I went for high school, sophomore through senior year. So,
So you got
Is that back home in Virginia?
that's in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire?
Yeah, New England prep school. Pretty good organization, good school, good hockey. It was great.
besides there, where else have you played? And here.
Yeah, I played in Brooks, Alberta last year in the AJHL.
That was a good team last year, yeah.
Yeah, pretty good team. We lost 3 games in the regular season, so we went 57-3. We had a really good team. Good, a lot of Division I commits. A lot of guys going to school. Yeah, we ended up winning the Canadian National Championships too. So we had a really good year, and it was a good experience.
So you got off to a really hot start this season. Talk me through what your mindset was coming into this year that got you off on that hot start.
The mindset was just to build upon last year. Last year, I wasn't coming out of last year. I wasn't really happy with how I played and with how I did, and I wanted to come out this year from the start and do well right away. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But yeah, just to come out right away and have a good start and play better from the start, I guess.
have you looked at what your numbers have been so far? That you're on pace for 37 goals and 68 points, I think, which would both be single season records for the franchise, and not just barely, but I think the record's 30 goals and 58 points. So you're on pace to just completely blow away all of the previous records. And we've had kids like Blake Lizotte, who's playing in the NHL, Johnny Walker, who was second in the NCAA in goals last year. Like, we've had some good players come through here, and you're looking at blowing away anything they've ever done as Toros. Like, has that sunk in, or have you thought about it, or is this the first time you're hearing that?
Yeah, this is basically the first time I'm hearing this. Yeah, it sounds crazy. I mean, yeah, like you said, those are great players, and just to be in the conversation with players like that is an honor. But I mean, I haven't really thought about it that much. I kind of just try to take it game by game and do as well as I can. Try not to focus on points. There's more to the game of hockey than just points, and just trying to be a good team player and, have the team first. And the most important thing is to win, so that's a goal every game.
Jack Gorman checks in on Facebook. He asks, who's your favorite hockey player to watch right now and why, and your favorite team as well?
I live in Virginia, so favorite team is easy, Washington Capitals. My favorite player to watch right now, my favorite player is Nicholas Backstrom. He's always been my favorite player. I love the way he skates, the way he handles the puck. His puck control is second to none. Playmaking, always setting up Ovechkin for the last 13 years. So, yeah, that's my favorite player. Current favorite player to watch, I'd say Leon Draisaitl. He's an amazing player. He actually went to my school in Germany. I grew up knowing him, so that's cool. And what he's doing right now for the Edmonton Oilers is crazy, especially as a German, too. He's the best German player to ever play in the NHL, and he's, 23, 24 years old, so.
Now, you mentioned you grew up with him a little bit in Germany. Let's talk about your history before you became a Toro. Talk about your journey just from having lived abroad and coming here. You said you live in Alexandria, but you went to school in New Hampshire, then you went to Canada. Like, overall, how many different places have you lived? What's your journey been like?
Yeah, I mean, I've been around the block, I guess you could say. So I grew up in Germany. I was born there, born and raised, lived there until I was 14. Went to school there, went to a German school. When I was 14, I came to the U.S. to try to pursue playing college hockey. That was always my goal. And it's a little tough in Germany to get exposed to colleges and stuff like that. So I decided to come to the U.S. I went to a junior prep school in Massachusetts called Hillside School for 9th grade. Played there for a year, and then I went to Kimball Union Academy afterwards as a sophomore through senior. And then after that, I went to Brooks, Alberta. That was last year, and then now I'm here, so.
So you speak 3 languages, German, English, and Mandarin.
So the English and the German we get now after hearing that story, but not a lot of hockey players that speak Mandarin.
Yeah, I know. I took 3 years of Mandarin in school, high school, so sophomore through senior year. And, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm fluent, but I could probably have a conversation with a 6-year-old, so I guess that's pretty good.
It's better than my Japanese, so yeah.
Can you put a sentence together?
我喜欢打篮球，你喜欢吗?
And what does that mean?
That means I like playing hockey. How about you?
We've got one other. Last week you were kind of on the show. You were in the game with Cole O'Connell about seeing how well he knew his assistant captains, and we got to ask you about it again. You said your secret fear, or the thing you were most afraid of, was having twins. So why is it that you hope you don't have twins?
I don't know. Twins are weird. Just having them, I guess. Like it's just overwhelming to have twins.
Do you have twins in your family? Have you been around twins at all, or is this just
No.
an observation having seen other people with twins?
Yeah, I mean, I just imagine you expect to have one kid, and then all of a sudden you have two, and one kid is already a lot to deal with, and I can only imagine you're already freaking out about having one kid and just having to deal with that for the first time especially, and then you have two. It's double the pressure on you, I guess, and I don't know if I would be able to handle that, so.
So if you were put in a room with twins, would it freak you out, like if you saw them in person, or is it just like the fear of having them yourself?
No, I'm not afraid of I'm not afraid of twins. So like if I was in a room with twins, I'd actually find it funny. I think having two of the same person is pretty funny. But no, I'm not afraid of them. It's just having them is where the trouble comes.
So not trying to call you out either, but you are missing a few front teeth there.
Pretty obvious.
What's that story about?
I guess there's two stories to that. Last year, my last preseason game, the puck was in the air, and the opponent went to swing for it, missed the puck completely, hit me right in the teeth. I actually wore a mouth guard at the point too, and it just chipped the front, these 3 teeth, so the one that's gone, and the 2 adjacent teeth. And I skated right to the bench, took out my mouth guard, and I saw pieces of my teeth in the mouth guard.
Ew.
I went to touch my teeth just to check on them, and pieces of my teeth were flaking off. Yeah, and I was just shook. So that was the first story, I guess. Second one was a couple weeks ago, our last game against the Austin Bruins. I got a puck to the teeth. A guy tried to just dump it in, and I got caught in the middle, so I got puck to the tooth, and it chipped it right in half. So that's kind of the story.
Since then, I noticed you went back to the cage. Is that your plan for the rest of the year then? It sounds like you've had some bad luck. I think it's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some problems with my teeth that I actually went to the dentist this morning. I have a dentist appointment next Thursday, and it's a bit of a process, and I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with the cage for now, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't.
All right.
Sorry. Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.
Once again, that's Nick Armstrong Kincaid. Hey guys, who won the Connect 4 tournament?
That is debatable. If anything,
Wait.
it's Nick because he's the only guy who beat me.
Actually, you had one more question for Nick. Cole, what is that you were playing with over there?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
I ran out of.
Oh, it's my favorite toy.
So last week, I was watching the replay, and I saw you standing right over there in the corner, putting that thing on your head and just like leaving it there. Are you like mesmerized by that, or?
I mean, I saw Jojo Hargendage do it, so I mean, he's a great guy, and he's a funny guy, and he does a lot of great things, and I just thought that was funny, so I had to try it out.
So JoJo was the one that actually
Yeah, it was
said
Jojo, so all the credit goes to him.
Or are you just trying to put the blame on someone else?
No, that's not it.
So many hits.
All right, fans. Once again, that was Nick Armstrong Kincaid.
All right.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
We have a birthday wish going out to Braden, bar 2. Is it your birthday tomorrow?
It is my birthday.
We've got someone saying happy birthday on Facebook to you. Dee Dee bar 2. Is that?
Actually, that's probably my aunt. Probably?
Probably
your
not
aunt.
sure.
You want to try it?
All right, Ken. We got a big weekend
Yeah.
coming up, as we said.
That's
Against,
enough of these guys. Yeah.
against the Minnesota Wilderness. We can take at least one. I think that's going to put us in a great position for the rest of the year.
I'm sure if you ask the coaching staff, they want to go up there and get
Oh, yeah,
both.
obviously.
But I think definitely the Wilderness have a good squad this year. We saw that they can put up a lot of offense. And the last time we were there, they swept us. But I think it was a pretty even game the first night. Yeah, it was 7-6 in a shootout, and then 5-1 the next night. So I think we can score on them too. I think it should be a couple of good games. I'm looking forward to getting back up there and getting maybe a more accurate look at what the matchup is like. I think having, like I said before, having Benny back and then having AJ to back him up, I think Sam Evola, who's gone now, played both games up there. I think that'll make a huge difference, having better goaltending. And then overall, I think we've come together a little bit better. We're playing better hockey now than we were. That was the end of that long run of road games to start the year. Guys were tired. Guys were sick of being on the road. I think
Marty wasn't there. He was up in Manitoba.
Marty was up being inducted into the Manitoba Hockey Hall of Fame, so I think that'll be good. And then we get an off weekend, and then come back. We head to Bismarck the night before Thanksgiving, and then finish up with Pack the Pepsi on Friday the 29th of November.
And then the 30th against St. Cloud, so that's a huge way to end November.
We're giving away $250 each time we score on the 29th. So every fan in attendance automatically entered to win. Each time we score, we're just going to pick a person, and they win $250. So
make sure
definitely
you get your
Black
tickets.
Black Friday be out at the Mesa. That'll do it. That's all I've got.
That's all she wrote, fans. So thanks once again for tuning in to Tours Weekly. For Ken Oda, Brennan Couette, Nick Armstrong Kincaid, I'm Peter Theodos. Till next time.